The safe, affordable, convenient, tree-lined North of Grand neighborhood is located near Ingersoll shops, downtown, the bus line, well-established churches, quality schools, and historic architecture. But did you know several prominent individuals have deep connections with the area? This video will highlight some people who made their mark on Des Moines and beyond. New York lawyer Talmadge E. Brown came to Des Moines in the mid-1850s and made his fortune in real estate. He and his wife Anna owned property throughout the area, including Greenwood Park. They also owned the property which is now 39th to 42nd Street and Grand Avenue to Center Street, also known as Greenwood Park Platte, in today's North of Grand neighborhood. The land was leased to the Iowa Agricultural Society in 1879 for the Iowa State Fair until the fair moved to the east side of Des Moines in 1885. Bushnell's 1881 to 1882 Des Moines City Directory describes the area. Quote, "The grounds contain nearly 100 acres, including a natural lake covering 3.5 acres, which has an average depth of 16 feet." Unquote. The lake was named for developer William L. White, who came from his native town of Oskaloosa to Des Moines in 1870 by foot. He owned a successful shoe business in Des Moines for over 45 years. He and his wife Ella had 5 children. White has been described as a generous family man. White and his wife lived briefly at 625 42nd Street before moving to their 685 Harwood Drive residence around 1917. They are buried at the Woodland Cemetery, about a mile east of the subdivision that still bears his name. Brown's Park Fair site was only temporary. When the State Fair moved after 6 years, Brown's Park became a family spot for summer picnics and winter ice skating. At the turn of the century, the lake was drained. The land was subdivided and developed as an outlying residential district. The Ingersoll streetcar line was constructed. Ingersoll Avenue is named for Ebenezer Jarrett Ingersoll, a notable 19th century Des Moines area insurance and banking executive and farmer who lived from 1828 to 1901. This is the area's main commercial area and thoroughfare. According to historian Case Sanchez, he was a, quote, person of athletic build, nervous, lymphatic, temperament, brusque, and plain of speech, often using vigorous swear words, but his purse was always open to people in need, unquote. According to a 1910 city directory, attorney Lawrence DeGraff and his wife Grace, a teacher at the former Highland Park College of Music, resided in a 2-story 1908 home at 639 40th Street. DeGraff served as an Iowa State Supreme Court justice from 1920 to 1932. He was recognized by his colleagues as one of the most scholarly men ever on the Supreme Court bench in Iowa, with a literary style peculiar to himself. He had a graceful and easy, happy way of stating a dry law question in such a way that it became of interest to the lay reader. His wife Grace was a composer and instructor at Highland Park College of Music. She wrote an operetta for the dedication of Greenwood Amphitheater. Charles H. Martin and his wife Jenny resided at 3939 Grand Avenue, which was built in 1913. Mr. Martin was the president of the People's Savings Bank, the vice president of Baker's Accident Insurance Company, and the treasurer of Des Moines Fire Insurance Company. Today, it is home to Baldwin White architecture. Al Coupe played quarterback with 1939 Heisman Trophy winner tailback Niall Kinnick. They were part of the celebrated Iowa Ironmen. Coupe resided at 39th and Woodland Avenue. He was sports director at KRNT and the first radio voice of the San Diego Chargers. When he died in 1998 in Southern California, Coupe was wearing his Iowa ring. His daughter, Jerry Ann Serby, was quoted in the San Diego Union Tribune as saying, quote, "He was an Iowan to the end. He was proud of his team and his school," unquote. In 1999, Coupe was inducted into the Sunday Des Moines Register Sports Hall of Fame in the Contributors category. Iowa Cubs owner and media mogul Michael Gardner grew up in the house at 741 40th Street. Paul Conrad is a 3-time Pulitzer Prize-winning and syndicated political cartoonist. His 2010 obituary noted his early years, growing up at 38th and Ingersoll. Quote, Paul quipped that his cartooning career began with a drawing scrawled on a restroom wall at St. Augustine Elementary School in Des Moines at age 8. Unquote. One of Paul's classmates at Roosevelt High School shared these cartoons in background story. Quote, in early 1992, the local committee contacted Paul about drawing a cartoon for the program cover of its 50th high school reunion coming up in June. He said he was really busy at the moment and would have to think about it. There was no response by early May. After several urgent calls, this piece of artwork arrived, a cartoon that included himself and had first run in his newspaper, the Los Angeles Times. But Paul had removed the original caption about President Carter, substituted the salute to the class of 1942, and signed it big with flourish. Paul Conrad, so talented, super creative, innovative, and resourceful. Unquote. Did you know that north of Grand once had a private school to educate the children of well-known families in Des Moines? The Laura Coffey Memorial School was named for the daughter of Laura Rawson and Dr. Percy E. Coffey. Their daughter, Laura, died young. The school began in 1922 at the 644 40th Street location in their daughter's memory. Laura Rawson Coffey later married publisher Dante Pierce. Laura Rawson Coffey Pierce died in 1934 from an illness. Later, the school was renamed the Windsor Day School and closed in the 1960s. The building was replaced by a duplex in 1966. A surgeon, Dr. Benjamin Stockdale, and his wife Frances had the double house built in 1909 at 4018 Ingersoll Avenue. That structure was determined by the State Historic Preservation Office to be eligible for the National Register of Historic Places in 2009. It is valued for its historic prairie school design. The double house has remained vacant since 2008, and its owners, Plymouth Congregational Church's Greenwood Park LLC, are currently looking at options. The fate of the double house remains uncertain. What is being done? There are efforts underway to establish parts of the neighborhood as a National Historic District. In 2000, the State Historic Preservation Office determined 37 acres of our neighborhood as the Middlesex Platte Historic District. It encompasses 31st to 35th Street and from Center Street to Woodland Avenue. The north of Grand neighborhood is currently seeking similar determination for the former Greenwood Park Platte to honor the significant historical events like the 1879 Browns Woods/Iowa State Fair and influential people who have connections here. It would also provide financial incentives such as state historic tax credits if property owners choose to rehabilitate their historic home. Please support the nomination of the Greenwood Park Historic District to the National Register of Historic Places to ensure that many of these century-old structures survive another 100 years. We appreciate your interest in the North of Grand neighborhood's history, architecture, and people. Thank you for your support.